Hello, in this C video, I am going to cover character literals. So also known as character constants as well. So if you remember, if you want to create a character, you put char, let's call it C. And if I assign the value, let's say A, for example, it needs to be single quotation marks. It can only be one character at a time. If you want anything more than that, you'll need some sort of string like a character array, for example, in C. And if I was to print that, do printf, nothing new here. You've seen this all before in the character video, but I'm just a bit of a recap. And remember to print it out. You can just use the identifier %c, and then we can specify C here. Save it, give it a run, and it prints out A. Pretty simple stuff. If I was to replace that there with quotations and put something that say G, for example, save that, run it, it prints out G. This right here is what you call a character literal. So this can't be changed. We can assign this value to a variable, for example, but we can't do the opposite. We can't do something like, the literal B equals this, for example, and if we get rid of that, it won't work because expected and identifier. Basically what it's saying is this is not an assignable data type because it's just a constant. It cannot be modified. So we can use these literals when setting up a variable. We can use them directly when we need some data in a printf, for example, or some other assignment. But there are other, character literals as well. There's something called, special sequence characters, and these sequence characters are pretty cool. So let me show you. There's certain characters. So what I'm gonna do is actually what I'll do. I'm gonna have an empty. I'll get rid of this now. Principle the same, you can use it in the character. If I save that, run that, as you can see, we don't get anything. But if I was to put \n, what that does is it adds a new line. It's really hard to see because there's nothing going on. So what we'll do, we'll have one massive string. Let's call this hello world, and this is all composed of individual characters. And if I save it, run it, we get hello world. If I was to put and I'll actually create it as a character, so we can just say char, and I'm gonna call this, I'll just call it C equals \n semicolon, and here I'm going to put a command C identifier, and here I'm gonna put C, save that, and give it a run. As you can see, world is on a new line because this \n is a new line character. And if we go to the web browser, there's a bunch of these, character constants. You can do a backspace, you can do new line, which is what we did. You can also do a horizontal tab. Also, imagine if you want to put double quotes here. Imagine you want to put, let's say, the word world around quotes. How would you do it? So if you was to do this and try and run that, it's going to give us an error. It doesn't know what's happening because the quote starts here, it ends here. It messes up. It's like, what the hell's going on? Then reopens the double quotes and then recloses it. So what you would do is use an escape character, so \\. So this indicates that this is not closing off or opening up any double quotes. It's literally just the single quotation mark. If I save that, run it. Because I've got that there and I'm no longer %c in here, so I'll put %c, why not? There we go, we got the double quotation. Same principle. If let's say we want to print out in here, imagine if we want to put single quotation, how would we do that? It messes up. So the way you would do it, you'd put a \. If I save that now, run it, it puts up a single quotation mark. I preferred it with the new line character. And if we go over to the web browser, as you can see, there's a bunch of other different, character constants, which is pretty darn cool. So that's it for character constants and literals. Pretty simple stuff. You will use them, and you'll probably use them all the time, and you won't even know that you're using them, because this is a character constant. If I was to put like capital Y, that's a character constant. You won't necessarily realize that you're using them. So that's it for this C video. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next C video.